Let's see what's going on today. All right, ones I know for sure I'm not looking at are Euro AUD, Euro NZD, Pound CAD, and Pound AUD. Those are like the, I'm just gonna start with the ones that I am looking at. So Euro JPY, been tracking this obviously like every week so far. So currently we're at this point where I'm just looking for this to break this area, this 126.7 area, because like as you can see, it keeps coming up in testing. So hopefully, was it Euro had a bank holiday yesterday? I can't remember, but or was it the UK? The UK, yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, so just looking for this area, like just looking for this close. I think even if we get a daily close, we could get a lot of good opportunities. Looking at this. Oh yeah, see in the UK, yeah. So, but as you can see, price keeps coming up, testing this area over and over again. So I'm just paying close attention to it, especially since I watch this pair mostly, as you guys know. Looking at this, so kind of like go straight on the hourly. You can see we already got kind of like a turn yesterday. It took a sharp turn during the New York session, and then kind of going through the same thing again. If you look at it on the 15-minute, in terms of how it's building on the 15-minute, see price is kind of in the middle of the range on the 50. So question is, will we have the right structure, time, and everything to break through that? And I'm going to look on Forex Factory. And today we just have US news, ISM and Aussie news later on. So nothing really, no really fundamentals today. Today's September 1st, yeah? Yeah, okay. Let's make sure. Yeah, so I'm looking at this one. How JPY has a similar story in terms of being a channel. Now, I could actually see the levels on this. So like this whole thing, just to like get up to speed with everything, this whole thing was like level. So this whole thing was a consolidation, and now we're pushing up. And as you can see, there's the 800 EMA right here on the daily. If we can break above that, I think we could get lots of good opportunities for that as well. So a similar story to the pound, Euro JPY essentially. I'm gonna go to the hourly. So like last week, you see we had the trend, right? So basically looking, can we get like just a second week of a trend? That would be nice, you know? So focused on that. Watching the development. Also in the middle of the range, same thing, same story. Pound USD. Coming back to this pair, you see that we had consolidation for quite some time, and then we finally have the break, right? Finally have the break, and it's finally above. So currently, I just tracking this on the lower time frames just to see. Like late last week, we had that trend, and I feel like we're still going to trend since the higher time frame is trending. The lower time frame should follow it as well. So right now, I'm seeing like, could we get today like some sort of pullback to here, and then can we like push up, you know, try to get like a New York. I'm figuring we're gonna get like some New York reversal, because honestly, like these past few weeks, I haven't seen any real crazy movements during the New York session. AKA, look at yesterday. Like we didn't get really that much of the New York session. We just had to push up. Same thing here. Same thing here. It's like the more volatile movements obviously are coming during that time more. I feel so. Yeah, so looking for a pullback mostly. If we could get like probably like where it is right now, that'd be nice if it was like some sort of like type 3 type of behavior to push up. So that's what I'm looking at for pound USD. Why did I do pound NZD? Oh yeah, pound NZD. I think if I look at the hourly, was it this one? I can't remember. Oh, looking at the daily, well, you can clearly see we finally have that break in that whole trending cycle. And as you can see, I was doing the levels and channels. You can see in between there. So now we have this new trend, right? Downside. And as you can see you can see it more clear on the weekly. See that. So I think what's going to happen next, since we had that momentum from last week, because clearly this is a trend, right? If I show you on the hourly right here, if we can break on the 1 hour, right? Because if you look at it, right, this is like on the hourly. Let's just call that peak formation. And then we have the cross. This is like level 1. And then we have the cross again. So I'm assuming that some build is going to have to happen here. So either this is going to come right here and it's going to keep building across. And then we finally have that level 2. And then we have the break that will go to level 3 essentially. So I don't know. Like, so I'm looking for a position like today probably to see, like, if this is going to trade the consolidation, I'm just going to trade in that direction. Like, as long as it's on top of the consolidation, just in case, because I don't want to take anything down here, because if it comes back up, then we're going to be in limbo going back and forth with this pair. So this is what I'm looking at for pound NZD. If this pair moves nicely, I mean, you know, as you can see, this thing goes on for quite some time. So yeah, that's what I see for pound NZD. USD CAD, I think it's time for this thing to pull up. It's been trending down for like quite some time. I don't even have to go to the higher time frames to show this is high enough to see that this has been in a downtrend for like quite some time, just keeps rolling over. Hold on, I need to take off my flux. I cannot see in this color. There you go. Yeah, so where it is right now, honestly, if it rolls more, that's crazy. But I mean, if you look at the dollar index, I'm gonna pull a higher actually. In a second. If you look at every single week, it's just been melting. So I mean, what does that tell you? So we could see dollar CAD get worse. And even if we look at the oil hasn't been doing much. So if looking at this, I'm looking at the dollar index a little bit better. Dollar index basically kind of tells you a story that dollar's like getting weaker. More and more weaker every week. So definitely look at this and make ways with it. Oh, my honorable mentions. Let me see. Honorable mentions, £0. This consolidation is finally over. Looking at it on the daily. As you can see from previous days, we just come up and we just kind of test that consolidation. And then I feel like we need to at least roll over, at least come to the 200. I think price is ready to go home at this point. So any trades for this, and again, I'm not really looking at this that much, but I think that this is the way that shower. Let me see. There you go. There you go. So yeah, so I could see this rolling over and going to the 200 EMA. at least in that area. And then if anything, we could go to the 800 EMA, looking at it on the from a daily standpoint, and then looking at it from the hourly standpoint as well. Other honorable mentions. Let me see. Not interested in that. Oh yeah, gold. Actually, that was pretty good. Gold. Where it's at right now, I think we're ready to long this, huh? So if you look at this on a higher time frame, just to kind of give a clearer picture, you can see that in this area we came back multiple times. It's kind of like just been testing it, but I feel like it's time for gold to kind of like take off. So I'm kind of like just looking at it. Mark, you looking at this too? Mark, go back to sleep. Let's see. Travis, if you guys GPS continue up, where's the reset? I have been making peak formation on the 1 hour to go up to reset. Could you look at the levels for pound JPY? Let me see. Oh, so if you look at pound JPY, looking at this from a high, well, let's see. This is daily, right? Okay. I was looking at it. I'm going to sync this. Let's say here, 1, 2, 3. And then if you go to the daily, the hourly, boom, comes a little bit clearer. So if you look at this, right, I'm not even looking at, for this, because of how it's moving, like this is like really huge levels because this is like a higher time frame type of cycle, honestly. So that's why I didn't really look at it on the hourly. As you can see, even like I was counting the levels on the hourly. But once I did it, I was like, okay, like when it does this, that means that there's a higher time frame level basically being built. So if you look at something like the 4 hour, it helps a little bit more. So as you can see, like this is peak formation. And then this could count as level 1 because you do have to cross up the 50 and 200. And then level 2 is kind of, it's like level 2 is going to be right here. And then level 3 is right here. The EMAs are kind of helping. So it's kind of like you got to figure out what EMAs kind of match up with it a little bit better. But again, like I don't really, like when it comes to this, like the price action is telling me the levels because I could see it. The EMAs are just confirmation. So like if you look at this right here, let's see, does this look a little bit better? So basically like what I'm doing is trying to find the confirmations that match up with it, like with the EMAs. But I could clearly see that this is a level, this is a peak formation, this is level 1, this is level 2, this is level 3. Not looking at the EMAs because I feel like the EMAs are not giving a really proper story of what's going on. Yeah, and that level 2 is like is big because it was kind of like here and you thought this was it, but then what happened was people were actually trying to trade this break and just kept coming back, and then it finally broke out, and then it did like this wild swing, and then this just became the whole accumulation. So currently looking at it right now, I feel like we can still go up and we can get like level, or go to like a level 4 or level 5, like which is basically this right here. I'm looking at this not really as a, I would say yeah, I'll look at it as a reset because it didn't like turn over or whatever. But yeah, this is like a higher time frame like level building. So yeah, so is this like kind of like what you have, or is it similar or not?
Hey, Travis. It's exactly what I have.
Oh, okay. See, yeah. So that's
I'm
that.
just thinking we're getting close to peak, so I'm a little afraid to take buys, you know?
Yeah. So in this case, I always say like I feel like you just need price to show you what it's doing, and kind of like right now, it's showing me that it's still bullish, especially looking at the pound JPY and Euro JPY. Like it's all been bullish, and also if you look at, let me see, I didn't look at it yet. The Nikkei, let me see. Yeah, the Nikkei's been stolen. Yeah, Nikkei's been stolen. Let me see the G30. Yeah, so if I look at pound JPY again, sorry, I'm just trying to process it all in my head. Yeah, I just see this going up even further just by looking at it. Just keeping it simple. Yeah, because especially if it breaks this 800 EMA, I mean, there's nothing stopping this from going further. Probably come up to this price point right here. So a lot of area to play. Let me see, what is it doing now? It's yeah, it's not even taking its time. It's too excited. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of good trades from pound JPY this week. That's why I highlighted that bad boy. So like I like to look at areas like this because it also helps me figure out where I want to put my stop, right? So like clearly if it can't break this area, the most protected area, like psychologically, this is going to be the best area to protect your stop if you were to short this, right? If you want to go to bed, put this in, and you want to trade a pullback. And then obviously the reward has to be like a 1 to 2. That's the only thing. So looking at this, it's not really that much of a reward to me right now because one, I feel like this is going to reject the 200 EMA and probably still go up. And we're probably looking at yesterday, we responded to like such as like the 50 EMA and stuff like that. So I'm not even looking to touch this yet. I feel like a better opportunity may come during the New York session. So I'm not even going to worry about that right now. Yeah, so that's that. Let's see, Pound USD, I know they were bullish a little bit. All right, we got a little bit of deceleration right there.
Jared, just a question, mate.
Yeah.
Are there times where you find that price will respect certain EMAs more times than others? Like you just mentioned that it might be the last couple of days it'll respect the 50, and then other times it'll respect the 200 more.
Yep, correct. So like, for example, last week, if you look at Pound USD, it respected the 50 a lot of times.
Yeah.
So and that's the thing, it changes because, and that's why we use all these EMAs, because realistically it's responding to the different the 50 EMAs on every time frame. So like, on the 15-minute, the 800 EMA is the 4 hour 50 EMA, the 200 is the 1 hour 50 EMA, and then this is the 50 EMA for this time frame. And literally probably that's why I use multi-time frame analysis, because the price doesn't really go with a particular time frame, it goes on. It could respond to any time frame. So that's why, you know, it's good to trade. Even though yes, I'm going through like multiple pairs. Like I only really trade EJ, Pound USD, and Pound NZD. I just do that everyone gets their pair covered, but you know, you want to look at one pair and then be able to look at all the different time frames to kind of tell where it's going to go.
Sure.
Breakdown. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yep. But yeah, definitely something I've seen. All right. Okay. I'm going to give y'all back the time so y'all can start trading, man. Take some time, test some things out. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me on the telly. Yeah.